xjoe81x had it all. V6, XLE, 07 Camry, the identical car, and unfortunately, you know what happened. Now, nobody can predict the future. It's very unfortunate of what happened. The main thing is he's okay. Another important thing is the car, his car, gave up its life to save his. So that leaves a lot to be said right there in the quality that Toyota makes. But he's stuck now and he needs a car. So what do you do when you're going out with a girl? Certain fam twerps wouldn't know about this, or washer twerps, or any of them twerps. What do you do when you go out with a girl and she dumps you? You go back to an old girlfriend as a rebound, and you're going back in time. So going from a 268 horsepower, 24 valve, variable valve timing with intelligence engine to, in typical GM fashion, even the paint is fucking wearing off. So it went from that to a 3800 engine. Now, 3800 engine is a great engine. There's no doubt about that. However, this has only 2 valves per cylinder, so it's 12 valves. Variable valve timing, GM says, what the hell is that? 2006, they're still using a coil pack with fucking ignition wires. Seriously? The Camrys had coil-on-plug since at least 2002, maybe even before then. 4 years before this. Now, granted, this engine has been around longer, but you'd think, you know, I mean, they make upgrades, they do things. It is what it is. So what did we say? This was 198 horsepower or something?
I don't know.
It's around 200, somewhere in there. It's serviceable. There is room. Your alternator's right there. That's going to break 6 times. But, you know, AutoZone, $49.99. You got one right there. It bolts right on. And all the rest. Engine mount right in the way where you want to put a wrench. That's nice. Oh, how neighborly. Takes the cover off. Look at that. Really? All right, I mean, given, you know, fuel injectors right here, and I guess on the back also, so you'll need those. So that's why they left that serviceable. Wait a minute, GM doesn't leave anything that needs to ever be changed serviceable. It is what it is. And the battery is not under the hood. It's a back seat battery. Who needs a battery? Just put it in the back. Nobody needs it. So you got your Buick. It doesn't have the red, white, and blue going on. It's just a plain Jane. We're still around. We're Buick, but this is all you get now. Let's go inside and take a look. So this is an 06 Buick Lucerne with the V6 3800. Tach, speedometer, temperature, fuel, same as the Camry had. Plain Jane radio. It does have a vacuum fluorescent display, as does that over there. I appreciate that. That'll break in a few years. Your shifter here, it does have the darker wood. I am a fan of the darker wood. It does have the traction control off button right there. So it has that. It has ABS, of course. Remember that GM stands behind every vehicle with the anti-lock braking system because they don't want to stand in front of it. It's your typical car. There's nothing special. We looked at this car. It was a Rebound car. It starts, it runs, it drives. It does everything it's supposed to. It doesn't do anything it's not supposed to. Well, a couple little quirks here and there. You got your airbags, your side airbags. You got a little speaker in the pillar. You got the oh shit handles. You have the sun visors with a lighted mirror. That's a little cheap. It works, but it's cheap. It's there. That's really it. It's just a plain old basic car. We looked at this car and then went back to actually purchase it, And when I looked at it, I said, it couldn't say Buick there, or have the logo, or Lucerne, or something. This was a car that was so boring. There's just nothing to absolutely talk about. I got the key. We'll turn the key on. I'm not going to start it now. We'll do that later. Buick Lucerne. Burned into the display. Mile per hour. The H is a little dim. It's here. It works. Your vacuum fluorescent display. Climate control. You know, vacuum fluorescent on that. Cup holder. Your storage compartment. So what's good about the car? It's a Buick. That's not that it's good. It's just that it's a cushy old man or old lady car. It's very cushy. Comparing this to Ginger, my 2003 V6 Camry that an old lady drove, this is the kind of car that she should have had. Quite honestly, this car is a lot cushier than a Camry. It rides softer and nicer as far as that's concerned. I get all that. But other than that, it's a plain old boring GM car. Nothing special. There's OnStar or some crap on the mirror there. I don't know if it has Bluetooth for the phone. It looks like it does. So maybe that pairs up. Your lights and your brightness for them. There's a whole bunch of buttons there which really don't tell you anything of what they are. There's a trunk pop button in the glove box, because of course in the glove box. That was a GM thing, I don't know why. It's just here. It's a car. It'll get him to work and home. That's it. Nothing special. It's pre-tenderized. Does have a chip in the windshield. I think there was another one somewhere. I don't remember where. Maybe that right there, I think. There's a little ding right there. But nothing in the field of view. It's just plain and boring. But it'll work as a car. You can say that about many cars. They start, run, and drive. But as far as longevity, as far as performance, I really feel bad for them. But, like I said, it is cushy. So I'll give it that. So how does it run? Like any other GM. Now, that's smooth. I gotta say, that's pretty damn smooth. Barely moving. The camera will never pick it up. 3800 is a very good engine. It's old and antiquated. This is old shit. This is a pushrod engine. They've had overhead cams for fucking years. But this is an old pushrod design. Nothing wrong with that per se. It's tried and true technology. But it's old and antiquated. I'm not saying that newer is better or that older is worse. But if you really compare what the Camry engine can do versus this, you're going to get a lot better fuel mileage in the Camry on long trips, where this is just your old school, let her rip down the road. There's the exhaust note. You hear a little bit of that, which you'll hear from a pushrod engine, I believe anyway. Stripping. That's normal. And that's it. So we'll take it for a ride. Alright, so now we're going to take it for a spin. It's a car. It drives. That's it. Want to automatic door locks. Big deal. It's not, the Camry did it when you just put it in gear. Stop signs don't count. That's the GM ABS brakes at work right there.
Right. Thump.
You know what stop backwards is, right? Pots and pans, pots and pans. Alrighty. So anyway, we're gonna drive to the Parkway and get on that and go for a little drive up and down that and come back, and yeah, so it's just side street driving. It's just smooth, and I'd like to buy a vowel. It's smooth and smarmy. There's another Buick over there. They're around. It's not unheard of. They're just not as common as your run-of-the-mill Camry or anything like that. It's cushy. It's smooth. It's smarmy. It goes. It stops. It's a car. Just a car. So that's about 55 mile an hour. 60 now. Less than 60. 50. Slow traffic.
Slow traffic ahead.
But it feels the same at 60 as it does at 30. Like I said, it's smooth, it runs. Plain, boring beige interior. This is just too plain. Something could have gone here. I like the font on the radio, where it's like a fat font for the time. That's kind of nice, as opposed to the odometer. I don't know if you can see it. There it is, where it's like a single row of pixels, So that's kind of a nice little stupid thing. We'll keep going a bit. Years ago, I had a video, 4 schmucks in a Buick. Now we got 2 schmucks in a Buick.
That is correct.
That is very correct indeed. So we're going around the roundabout. If you got a clear shot, step on it a little bit. It's clunky, it shifts, it downshifts, it moves, it's not bad, it's not good, it just is. 60 miles an hour, looking about, I don't know if you can see, about 1500 RPM, maybe over there you can see. So, definitely nice in the low RPMs at cruising speed. It's very smooth, like I said. It's an old person car. This is what old people would expect, because back when they bought their 67 Buick Riviera that they only put 67,000 miles on up until 2006, and nobody worked on carbonators anymore, this is what they'd buy. And find out how much plastic actually goes into cars nowadays. With the windows rolled up, very quiet and smooth. So, with GM, you kind of know what you're getting. You know what you were going into. It's old, tried and true technology. There's nothing wrong with that at all. You can't beat smooth and smarmy any day of the week. Everything works. It just is. Kind of like the Rebound. You know that pussy inside. Yep, the same old pussy. The one you got tired of and went to somebody else. Smooth and smarmy. The color's interesting on it. It's sort of a puke green gray. I don't know what the camera sees it as. Just sort of a puke green gray, and the plain old beige outlook on life interior. It's just a car. It's nothing special at all. It's got the fake side vents here, like it actually meant something back in the 60s, but not anymore. It's here. It does its thing. It's just a car. Nah. But this is what happens when you have to rebound. It's very unfortunate, but it just is. He put his dash cam in and the rear camera. That actually went better than the Toyota, just the way it's designed. But, you know, again, it's just here. It just does its thing. Very, very blah and meh. Anyway, such is. It'll get him to working back, hopefully for the time that he needs to use it for that. It'll be fine. Decent engine. I don't know anything about the reliability or longevity of the transmissions in these, but it runs, it drives, it goes, so hopefully we'll wish him good luck with it. So thanks so much for watching. Make sure you click like, make sure you click subscribe, and take care. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.